Oh my God. They are horrendous.
Should we talk about Leicester City right now? So Leicester City obviously have under Dean Smith, by the way, who I forgot was the manager there. I was like, who is the Leicester City manager? Seeing his fat face, and I was just like, oh, that's the guy, right? Leicester City are currently second bottom. Leeds United haven't done well recently. Big Sam could do something. Everton, I've got the most favourable fixtures, you say?
Yeah, definitely.
Southampton obviously are down, which is no surprise really. They got through 3 or 4 managers in a season. You deserve to go down.
Usually.
It's a poor end to the season for every single team down there. Forest, I mean, fair play. They've spent so much money. If they didn't survive, then you'd be looking at League One next season.
That would be the fear, wouldn't it? Yeah. I think I look at that, and I don't think any of them play each other now, do they? I don't think there's a win there. I don't think any of them win. I think it just stays as it is because they all lose. I know Everton's fixtures look favourable in terms of the other two, but I don't think any of them win any of the games. It is so poor down there. Or is it, this is the constant argument, isn't it? Is it more competitive now that it makes teams look poorer because it's harder to get points these days? Or are the teams just that bad? And for me, I just think they're terrible.
A team shouldn't get 24 points in 36 games. In any campaign. Southampton have spent more money this season than they have in any of the last 10 seasons.
They just bought so many young players that look amazing. And they look like they're going to be great players one day. But, you know, I know that it's the famous quote, not winning anything with kids. But when you're a team that isn't even in the situation to win anything, that's when you don't buy kids. Like you need to buy players that have some form of a bit of foundation, yeah, definitely. And so obviously Southampton, we can't talk about them too much because they are gone and well deserved. But Leicester, for me, I think it's a crazy story with Leicester because you look at the highs that they've had, obviously, and some tragic circumstances that have happened with them, and so it's been such a roller coaster ride for their fans and everyone involved with that club. But you just look at. I feel like they tried to be a little bit fancy in the transfer market. And for me, it comes down to coaching a lot. I think Brendan Rodgers has been a great manager. Obviously, he's done great things in football. But towards the end, you could tell it was getting sour last season. It was always going to end in this sort of fashion. But you look at the coaching of some of these players. I remember Soyuncu being spoken about as one of the top centre-halves in the league.
So everyone.
I think he's going to Atletico Madrid at the end of this season, at the end of his contract. But and they're probably taking a punt because he has been awful and he rarely features anymore. But that's not entirely on the player for me. I don't think that can ever be the case. I think the coach has got to have a look himself in the mirror and get this player to one side and say, you were crucial for me to get in nearly in the Champions League for 2 years. And now you're just a surplus to requirements player. That can't make sense. Let's try and work on something. You look at so many of these players and players they've brought in. That centre half with the long hair, Feist, is it? Oh my God, he is woeful. And I don't like saying that. I remember he had a good game towards the start of the season, and my dad doesn't watch too much of Leicester. I remember him watching him, and he played all right. And he went to me last night. He was like, "Not a bad player, him." I was like, "You're joking, are you?"
He scored 2 on goals against you, didn't
he has stunk the world off for a season. But you look at others, and it's like the punting Jamie Vardy up front, who's he's not getting any
past
younger.
It, isn't he?
Yeah,
it's hard to say. And is he past it, or has he just not got the service he has? I think that the issue with Leicester this season is that they got rid of Schmeichel and then didn't replace him. They got rid of so many players and didn't replace him. They didn't sign anyone till I remember doing this video at the start of the season saying Leicester City have done nothing. That Wout Weiss, I don't even know how to say his name properly, was the first signing that they made, and that was in August. And that was after a couple of games. So, but the issue stems from the fact that COVID restricted the flights and airports sector, and then that's who they are, isn't it? Leicester City, the owners. I don't know how to say the names. Yeah, I don't. So then they're restricted with that. So they try to gamble on not spending as much this season, and it's been a horrendous gamble. They tried to sign a couple of players during the winter transfer window in the winter even, and it's too late at that stage. It's just a complete panic buy, and it's just 38 games. Whoever goes down deserves to go down, and Leicester City, with the way that they spent money, with the way that they've been stubborn with Brendan Rodgers, the way that Brendan Rodgers has been with the players, a trifecta of they deserve to go down.
They're down.
It's a shame.
They are down. They are so bad. They won't pick another point up this season. I can guarantee that. They are honestly. They've always been a tough team to go to, especially. But even at Anfield, they've always given us tricky games. I remember the season we won the league. We had to win on a 95th minute. Jimmy put it in. It's always been a tough place to come and go to. But it was an absolute breeze. It was like the fans weren't there. But it was quite shocking, really, because I understand fans being frustrated, but they're screaming about Foxes never quit and all this at the start, and they're giving it to our fans about stuff that we won't mention, and they're going so passionately at the start. They get over a certain amount of time in the game, first half hour or so. We score, then we score again. Two delightful Curtis Jones goals, by the way. And then they're booing them off at half-time and leaving the ground, and you think...
It was so quiet, by the way. On TV, I don't know what it was at the ground, but all I heard was the Liverpool fans. I didn't hear anything else.
It's like, it's all right saying... Do you know one team that I've got to do this, and it pains me in a way, but Evertonians know how to get behind the team when the cards are against them. And that's when you see what a proper club fan base is like. And you see how they go. And it's laughable at times because, we see it and we think, bloody hell, we're doing that for Champions League nights. You're doing it for staying in the league. But when their team needs them, they're there and they'll always be there. And even this season, they've got behind them, pulled off some incredible results. You look at that Brighton game, it's just crazy. But I think that might have kept them in the division.
Just to cap it off, though, Cal, who do you think is going down?
I don't think any of them win another game. So exactly as it is. I think it just stays on 31, 32 there, and that's just sadly Leeds go down.
It would be so Premier League for Southampton not to finish bottom now. 6 points off, 20 goal difference. But I agree with you. I think that anybody gets a point now, it's gold dust to them.